Whispers from the Chinese Garden. Chinese gardens. For centuries, they have been whispering life lessons. But to hear them, you need complete stillness. I used to visit the Chinese garden here in Singapore only on weekends. Not ideal. Too many distractions. I was multitasking. Chasing step goals. Checking out crowded festivals. There was simply no room for the quiet. Then, things changed. A quiet weekday morning. A lone walk. No crowds. Only nature's undertones. The grounds turned into my private retreat. A place to think. To reflect. Along these hushed paths, the garden led me to 5 simple insights. 1. Embrace the ascent. Trudging up the steep incline of the White Rainbow Bridge, I felt an urgency to reach the grand arch on the other side. An urgency entirely self-imposed. I was pushing too fast. The pace was exhausting me. Then I remembered the law. In Chinese mythology, the Rainbow Bridge is a celestial path. From earth to the heavens. A journey that cannot be rushed. I slowed down. Deliberate steps. I paused and caught a view of the twin pagodas. The steep incline wasn't a hurdle to rush through. It was part of the journey. Treat a steep path as a pain to endure, and you miss the transformation. I chose to lean into the struggle. There was nothing to be gained by racing the clock. The result? I got to the grand arch with plenty of energy left. Refreshed. Ready for the next steep path ahead. 2. Zeal, commit, persist. The Cloud Pagoda. 7 stories high. The most iconic landmark in the garden. A monument of sheer constancy through decades of change. It is a beautiful metaphor for enlightenment. The pagoda was locked. Closed for safety and preservation. I couldn't enter, but I knew what lay inside. A winding staircase, built to take a seeker from the stone floor all the way to the 7th tier. At the summit, the ultimate reward. The best view of the area. A higher state of mind, if you will. Completely free from the noisy, material world below. The lesson here is simple. Enlightenment requires honest effort. First, belief. Then, commitment. Looking at the pagoda from afar is easy. Anyone can do it. But ascending it? Step by agonizing step? When your legs are burning and tired? That requires persistence. Self-improvement allows no shortcuts. None. It is a daily, uphill grind. At times, repetitive, exacting, but you must keep moving forward. Push through until the breakthrough moment. 3. Cultivate healthy relationships. Walking past the pavilions, I noticed the wall openings, shaped like traditional windows. One was uniquely modeled after a pepper. No glass panes. No curtains. Wide open. By design, their specific shape and size seem to balance 2 things: privacy for those inside, and visibility of the world outside. It's a common human reflex. When we are overwhelmed, we build defensive walls. We isolate ourselves, sometimes for long periods. The garden knows this human frailty and masters it. The pavilion provides sanctuary, the protection we crave. Yet the wall openings break the barrier. They prevent total isolation. They invite in air, light, nature, community. They maintain a vital lifeline to the outside. It perfectly mirrors our own lives. We need healthy, open relationships. Protect your inner peace, but remain permeable to the world. 4. Be adaptable. Dozens of scholar stones, placed in strategic, thoughtful locations. Ancient intellectuals used them to fuel their creative work. They drew deep inspiration from their dramatic, twisted shapes. Shapes formed entirely by nature. Over thousands of years of relentless water erosion. Right next to them, weeping willows, pendulous branches, flowing gently with the slightest breath of wind. Life presents two approaches to strength. The scholar stones teach us to endure. Anchored, steadfast and seasoned. The willows teach us how to be flexible. Not out of weakness but as a way to outlast the wind. The garden raises a question. Do you know when to adapt? Which approach to take? Five, respect invisible boundaries. My final lesson. It came from a sudden, light-hearted moment. Near the water lily pond, I caught a glimpse of a squirrel on a tree trunk. It was completely absorbed, tearing into a Java fruit. He was close. Extremely close. I could actually hear the crunching. My first instinct? Move closer. Get the ultimate photo. But I stopped myself. I realized something. This up-close view was only possible because I chose to keep my distance. Had I pushed forward, I would have crossed an invisible boundary. He would have dropped the fruit, fled in fear. By respecting his space, we both won. Side by side. In perfect peace. Normally, get within a meter of a squirrel and it scampers away. It made me reflect on human boundaries. Bonding doesn't mean crowding someone. It doesn't mean invading their personal space. Oftentimes, it means letting others be safe, unthreatened, free. Conclusion. To reprise what the garden brought back to light. Embrace the ascent. It is part of the journey. Fuel your goals. Zeal. Commitment. Persistence. Cultivate healthy relationships. Adapt. Endure like stone, or yield like the willow. Honor the boundaries of others. These lessons are not new. I simply rediscovered them. I left my daily cares behind and focused on the quiet. Now I step back into the rush of the world with my frame of mind changed. Establish some of your own time for reflection. As for me, I will return. I will revisit these lessons regularly. A necessary anchor in the rush ahead.